This is a little mini activity project here. We're going to trace this doggy, just like a little connected dots you find as a kid. We have a start point and an end point. There's lots of changing a direction that's going to go on, so you're going to practice your pen skills. This is a little tricky. It takes some time, but you can get this. Very useful. Before we get going, I want to use my pen tool, set up the fill to none. Okay, we don't want the doggy filled in quite yet. Makes it easier to do. And then I just picked a brown, and then if I put a 4-point stroke so you can see it. Sometimes if you get a 1-point stroke, it's kind of hard to see. Okay, well, I put this little red line here and broke it into the thirds for a reason, and it matches up with your starting point and then your very first click after that. And so the rule of thumb is you want to pull, when you're doing curved lines, you want to pull that little handle about a third of the way to your next click. So here's where it gets tricky. As you're using this pen tool, you have several things to keep in mind. The direction you're going, where your next click is. You're always trying to think ahead. And then how far and what angle should you be pulling at. All right, so I'm going to get the pen tool. What we're going to do is we're going to start here, and we're thinking about this next click. How far away it is, what angle it is, and is it curved or not. So here we go. We're going to get the pen tool. And we're going to start here. I'm going to click and hold, and I'm going to pull about a third of the way. See, it matches up with that. About a third of the way to the next click. I'm going to go slightly downhill. I'm not holding down shift this time because I don't want a straight line. I want it to kind of dip down a little bit. So about a third of the way. Now I'm thinking of this one. Now as I'm clicking here, I'm also thinking of this. So if I just click, it's going to make a straight line. If I click and hold, it allows me to bend that line. Okay, so I'm going to bend that line and pull about a third of the way to the next click. And see how we get this nice curvy thing. Well, now I'm going to click here, but I'm also thinking about the next click. So you got to hold down. I'm going to click, hold down, pull about a third of the way. And what angle is it? Okay. Click and pull. Click and pull. Now here's one where it's going to be kind of weird. I'm going to click here, but my next one isn't till down here. Okay, it's not going to work. I'm not going to get it smooth, so I'm going to have to do that change of direction thing. So what I want to do is click and pull so I get a nice matching curve. Click and pull. So now that curve matches, but the next place that this, no matter where I click, this line wants to go up, and that's not what we want. So I'm going to zoom in here. There we go. All right, so what I want to do is I want to click down here, but I got to change this direction. So we learned last time if we hold down Option, we can take this handle and say, no, the next time you click, I don't want you going up. I want you going that direction. I'm going to pull about a third of the way. Now, the next time I click, I can click and hold. We can get that nice bend. Now, I had to go farther. I had to bend farther this time. I'm sorry, or pull farther than the third, but we got the nice little curve on that tail there. Okay? Click and hold. And we can alter that later on. It's not perfect. We can alter it later on. Okay? So we want to, actually, you know what? I lied. I want to just get that nice curve. And then I can change direction. Option, change direction. We got lots of those change directions. I've indicated that here. Click and hold. Okay, we're going to have the next one. We're going to have a change of direction. So we just want to get click and hold, get the angle. I'm sorry, get the line looking good. And now we can hold down Option, change direction. Okay, and so I'll show you a finished one in just a second. Now you're likely going to accidentally deselect, whoa, there we go. You're going to likely accidentally deselect the line. Whoops, we got to start again. That's going to happen, no problem. And so what we do is we take the pen tool, and we've done this before. We hover right over that point you want to pick up from. The little cursor turns into a slash. There we go. Now what we need to do is pull out a direction out of that thing. So I'm going to hold down Option, pull out my direction, that's the way I want to go, and then you can just pick up again and continue going on. Click and pull. Okay, always thinking about the next one. Click and pull. Click and pull. Click and pull. Now, that right there isn't going to work. We don't want the line going up. We have to change direction. Okay, you just continue doing this over and over and over where the change directions happen. Make sure you're holding down Option, changing direction, and there you go. Well, you're going to come to a point at the end here where you just want to move that cursor right on top of where you started. Look at the little cursor change. If you just click, it seals it off and it closes it off. Don't worry if it goes over the ears or anything. Don't stress on that. So let me zoom out. There we go. We're just going to make sure it's selected. Okay, Object, Arrange, Send to Back. Now it's behind the ears. And we can fill it. I'm going to get the eyedropper and sample the same brown color from the ear. Okay, and now it goes behind the ear and the eyes. Don't worry about that. Also, don't worry about the little feet here. Those are pre-drawn. This is far more important to get the concept of the pen. Now, you're going to have areas, let me zoom in over here, where you didn't quite get it. No problem. Well, now we get the Direct Select tool. We want to kind of go over and hover. There we go. And we can take point by point. Oops. We want to hover over that. Take point by point. You can start adjusting those point by point. Oh, I want that up here. Whatever you can adjust. Right? A little more curvy, a little less curvy. Whatever the case may be, you can fine tune. Okay? And that's just with the Direct Select. But the point is, you got your doggy drawn, not just by connect the dots with straight lines, but you're able to click and pull. You're remembering that as you're pulling, you're thinking about not only clicking here, but you're thinking about whatever your next click is. You're going to pull about a third of the way going towards where you want to go, and that's the trick on this assignment.